कठिन से कठिन परिस्थितियों में भी भारत और रूस हमेशा कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर चले।
Russia and India have maintained special relations for decades.
Russia and Europe are trading barbs right before the Russian President Vladimir Putin's visit to India. The Russian ambassador to India, Denis Alipov, has accused Europe of warmongering, adding that Moscow never sought a war with Ukraine, and by contrast, it was Europe and the Obama administration that precipitated the Ukrainian conflict in 2014 by overthrowing the Ukrainian government at the time. The Russian envoy responded to a TOI article that was co-authored by the German ambassador Philip Ackermann, the French ambassador Thierry Mathieu, and the British High Commissioner Lindy Cameron, which stated that Russia didn't seem really serious about peace. Now, the article that was co-authored by the European envoys also said that India, being the largest democracy of the world, can help put pressure on Russia and end the war in Ukraine. The Indian Ministry of External Affairs has also expressed displeasure. It has termed the move to be undiplomatic. The Russian president is scheduled to hold high-stakes talks with the Indian Prime Minister. At the heart of this visit is a newly finalized agreement on the mobility of skilled and semi-skilled workers. The Indian Ministry of External Affairs officials have said that the document has been finalized and is now going through its internal processes before signing. Economic cooperation will be key focus during the summit. Bilateral trade has crossed $65 billion and is driven very largely by India's import of discounted Russian crude. And yet the relationship remains heavily tilted in Moscow's favor. The Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov has acknowledged India's concerns, saying that Moscow wants to buy more from India and is looking for joint efforts to correct the imbalance. India is pushing for wider access for its marine products, pharmaceuticals, processed food, consumer goods, potatoes and pomegranates, with both sides agreeing to work towards narrowing the deficit. Now, despite the American President Donald Trump imposing tariffs in New Delhi for importing Russian crude oil, Dmitry Peskov has expressed optimism about longer-term ambitions with India. On the question of energy, Moscow has said that supplies to India remain stable despite the sanctions, and India has reiterated that private companies make oil purchase decisions based on global market trends. New Delhi is expanding its footprint in Russia with consulates in Kazan and soon Yekaterinburg, alongside negotiations for a free trade agreement with the Eurasian Economic Union. And during the bilateral summit between the two leaders, talks may also include an additional S-400 missile system and discussions on New Delhi's interest in the Su-57 fifth-generation fighter jet, which the Kremlin spokesperson has called as the best plane in the world. The civil nuclear cooperation, including compact reactor technology, is also on the table. Additionally, the two leaders are likely to discuss issues related to terrorism and the ongoing Ukraine conflict. And just days ahead of Putin's arrival, Russia's State Duma has approved the reciprocal exchange of logistical support pact that was signed earlier this year. RELOS allows military aircraft, ships and personnel from both countries to use each other's facilities for exercises, training, humanitarian missions and disaster relief. Vladimir Putin praised Russia's rapidly growing trade with India and said that he will continue pursuing a sovereign economic policy.
We will continue to pursue a sovereign economic policy and act externally based on our own national interests, the needs of domestic businesses and our citizens. We will fulfill our obligations to foreign partners and expand cooperation with those countries that are interested in it. As I have already said, the vast majority of countries act rationally and pragmatically. Over the past 3 years, we have significantly increased.
The Russian space agency Roscosmos is poised to deepen its long-standing partnership with India through a new agreement on rocket engine technology, signaling a major step forward in bilateral space collaboration amidst a competitive global market. The WION spoke with Dmitry Bakanov, the Director General of Roscosmos, on the deepening partnership between the two nations. Listen in.
With me is the Director General of Roscosmos, which is the Russian space agency. So welcome to WION. My first question to you is, how do you see the cooperation between the Russian side and the Indian side when it comes to the space domain?
First of all, thank you so much for the invitation. I am very proud to be here and glad to be here. India is our great partner in space, and in the nearest future we have to cooperate in next areas. First is engine. In a few days we will sign a contract about engine program. First we will give some engines to India, and then by licensing make a production here. And second is our orbit interaction, because as India with BES, like Russia with Russian orbital station, we will start after International Space System to cooperate in the orbit. And we take the same incline that BES is going to go on, and we will try to connect, disconnect, to make common space cosmonaut and astronaut programs, and wide our interaction with India.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.